Log 1, July 5th, 1972, 5:32 a.m. I'm Caroline and I'm here with Mary Hill to investigate the case of Nancy Summers. This case follows the abduction of 12-year-old Nancy. She was last seen at her ward in Oak Crest Medical Institution before she mysteriously disappeared without a trace in 1958. Since there was no sufficient evidence to help find her, the case had been ruled a runaway.
Currently, we are about to enter Oak Crest Medical, located in Greenville, West Pennsylvania. Our aim is to gather evidence and piece together what could have occurred and discover why she was never found again. Log 2, July 5th, 5:34 a.m. Security footage shows Nancy as she first enters the hospital on June 3rd, 1958 at 8:42 a.m. Admitted for having frequent fainting episodes, she was immediately taken to the pediatric ward in room 44B. She was last seen entering her room at 9:28 p.m. with no additional footage showing her leaving. But by morning, her nurse found the bed empty with no traces to where she could have gone.
In the police investigation, the hospital had claimed that Nancy wandered off on her own during the night. Except there was no real evidence to back their claim, and despite the building being monitored and staffed, no one saw her exit and no alarms were triggered. Within months, the case went cold and Oak Crest Medical Institution shut down permanently due to financial instability.
The hospital map says that the entrance to the pediatric ward is in the east wing.
But all the signs are faded. How are we even going to find our way?
We don't need the signs, Carol. We're following the map. Anyway, here it shows that we need to go down there.
Our listeners don't know where down there is.
It's down the hall and on the left.
Okay, fine. Let's just go. This place is kind of freaking me out. What was her ward number again?
It was 44B, and the map shows that that whole section is upstairs.
The elevators probably don't work. Let's find the staircase. Is it on the map?
Yeah, it shows that it's right around here.
Log 3, July 5th, 5:57 a.m. We have just entered Nancy's ward, which was her last known location.
Compared to the rest of the hospital, Nancy's room looks much tidier and unaffected.
It's like this room is stuck in time.
The room is almost empty with a bed and some cabinets on the side, but not much else.
We are going to further examine the room for any information about Nancy. Mary, you look through the cabinets while I search the rest of the room.
It's all empty. None of these cabinets have anything that can help us.
There's nothing here either. None of her belongings or any of her files.
What was that? Did you check under the bed?
No, I didn't. Let me check now. Can you pass me your flashlight? I can't see properly. Let's move the bed.
I don't see anything. Wait, what's that on the wall? It looks dented.
Log 4, July 5th, 6:13 a.m. We have just discovered a prominent dent on the wall behind Nancy's bed.
What do you think is behind there?
I don't know, but I definitely heard something.
Maybe we can break the wall. Is there something I can hit it with?
Should we just hit it with the bed?
No, let's just use the chair. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Okay, fine. You do it.
Log 5, July 5th, 6:20 a.m. We have just broken into the hollow wall, and behind it there seems to be a maze of narrow corridors. Carol, what do you think? What? What happened?
Look, at all these windows. There's so many. They're all peering into the children's rooms.
Why would this be here? Do you think this has something to do with Nancy's disappearance?
This could be the only explanation for what happened to Nancy.
Wait, let's go further in.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we have to take some pictures.
Let's look in further. Maybe we can find some documents as evidence. Oh my god, what is all of this?
All these monitors and equipment, what were they using them for?
Could this be where they took Nancy? We need to record this. Log 6, July 5th, 6:53 a.m. We just stumbled upon a room filled with monitors and observation rooms.
Carol, come here. This cabinet is filled with videotapes and they all have different names on them. Why would these be here?
I don't know, but we need to take these as evidence. Wait, it's a little faded, but I think this one says Nancy Summers.
The hospital must have brought her here for some kind of experiment or something. Why else would they have her tape?
I don't know, but there seems to be a bigger story behind all of this. That's why the hospital statement didn't match up.
What do you think happened in here? And what happened to all of these peoples? Where are they now?
Let's find a way inside one of these observation rooms. There might be something useful inside. There's a steel door here with papers attached to it.
What did they say?
It says subject responses, but the responses don't seem to be really medical. It says things like visual stimuli, subject seeing doorways, subject hears voices from corners of the room, subject claims figure calls their name, subject demonstrates compatibility.
Compatibility? For what?
I don't know, but it doesn't seem very good. What do you think they mean by visual stimuli and seeing doorways?
We can go inside, right? Is the door locked? Maybe there's something in there.
No, it looks like someone might have left it open in a rush. Why is there just a single chair and nothing else?
And it looks like it's bolted to the ground.
Let's go back. Doesn't seem to be any evidence here.
Log 7, July 6th, 8:42 p.m. It is the day after exploring the hospital, and we have just spent hours looking over the tapes we found. The videos suggest that Oak Crest Medical Institution had been studying kids who reported seeing things that others couldn't. All these children, under the age of 13, were taken into secret observation rooms located deep within the walls of the hospital. The kids were isolated from the outside world, and our research tells us that they were ruled as missing. For years, the hospital got away with taking these kids and testing their behavior, until something horrible happened in 1958.
Nancy's tape shows her sitting in the same chair we found bolted to the ground. She keeps looking towards the corner of the room. Even when no one is there, she keeps whispering, "It's open again."
The footage glitches every time she points to the wall. And at exactly 9:27 p.m., 1 minute before she was last seen entering her ward, the screen cuts to black. But the audio keeps recording.
You can hear Nancy say, "They said I'm compatible." Then there's a loud metallic sound, like a door dragging open. But after that, it's completely silent.
After seeing this, we looked into the hospital's history, and in 1958, multiple staff members quit within weeks of Nancy's disappearance. One nurse even reported unethical neurological trials, but her statement was dismissed.
The hospitals didn't shut down because of financial instability. It shut down after 3 children vanished in the same month, because Nancy wasn't the only one.
Log 8, July 7th, 12:16 a.m. After putting together all the evidence from the hospital, we decided to review our own footage from the hospital.
At first, everything looked normal. The hallway, the ward, the hidden corridor. But then we paused the frame.
In the reflection of one of the observation windows, there's a figure standing behind us. It wasn't there when we were filming.
It looked like a little girl. She was wearing a hospital gown and was staring directly at the camera.
We enhanced the audio from the corridor recordings, and there's whispering layered underneath our voices. It says one thing over and over again.
Still compatible. Still compatible.
We don't know what Oak Crest was trying to experiment. We don't know where Nancy went. But whatever it wasn't contained.
This podcast was produced by Roya and Kaniz from Our Lady of the Sacred Heart College with ArchD Radio and Podcasting. There's a link in the show notes for all the great podcasts our school has produced this year and in previous years too. Thanks for listening!